Hi everyone, this is Andrew, Plainview Farm, and today got some work for us to do. I guess I could probably tell you what kind of work I've got planned here. If you look at the bucket, you can see we've got a partial roll of wire, some electric fence insulators, drill, can of screws, crescent wrench, gate handles, a few other odds and ends. So I recently noticed that my calves have been running through the fences all over the place. So I checked my Energizer and everything seemed to be working fine, but as I walked around the property and was testing everything, I noticed that I was not finding any faults anywhere in the fence, wasn't finding any issues, but I had a significant power loss. So I came to the conclusion that there was something very wrong with my Energizer, or I'd reached the point that it was underpowered. So what can happen is, as you build up your fencing system and you add more fences, more wires, more cross fences, what happens is all of those feet of wire, they have resistance against the Energizer, and so then the Energizer has to work to overcome that resistance, and it eventually reaches a point that it just can't overcome it anymore. If you have an overpowered Energizer, it can create problems for the internal components of the Energizer, because it's having to absorb, the extra energy that it's trying to shoot out onto the system that the system can't absorb. And then at the same time, obviously, if the Energizer is undersized, you end up with a problem where you've got too much resistance and you're not able to send enough power out across the system. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that was my issue. So I did pick up another Energizer, which I will show you later on in this video. But first, we're going to do some repairs to the fences. And I'll mention this as well. They've hit the gates pretty hard. I've actually already taken the other gate handle. I've got 2 gate handles at each opening. And these gate handles have not held up well at all. These things have come apart fairly easily. So I've bought a different style of gate handle that I will, I guess, start replacing some of these old ones with. So for this bottom wire gate and handle, this has been broken where something ran through it, but I'm just going to tie onto this because this is not necessarily a permanent setup, or at least it may not be. I'm considering putting like a kind of a corral and maybe a loadout chute right in here eventually. It's not anything that's going to happen anytime in the near future, at least. But so I'm just going to splice onto it. I really don't want to have to tear all this stuff apart, and then even if it is, sometime down the road, have to come back in and then just tear it all out again. So we're just going to splice it all back together and make do. So I mentioned that I'm getting a different type of gate handle here. These are actually a Gallagher gate handle. The ones that I have used previously are just kind of a, I honestly don't know what brand they are. They're just kind of a generic gate handle, but these are a Gallagher. They're not anything real crazy. There's just a spring in there that comes up and it connects to a hook right here. And the reason I went with this gate handle is because it's simple and it looks like it is fairly stout. Now, of course, as time goes on, I guess we will find out just how stout it is, but as for now, this is what we're using. I'm just going to make a pretty simple, straightforward splice here to get by. I'm going to start by making a loop. Wrapping the wire back against itself. This is not anything pretty, It's just to get the job done. So in order to make this splice, what I'm going to do, all right, so I've made my first loop. I'm going to insert this into the loop. Then we're going to wrap it around the wire back here, okay? And then we're going to come back through our loop on the underside. I hope this is making sense here, okay? So what we've got is we've got a loop, all right, going through a loop. I'm not exactly sure what this knot is called. There may be somebody there watching that knows and can explain it better than I can. And by all means, feel free to comment below. Share what you know. So what happens is, as we pull tight on this, it keeps us from basically kinking the wire right here at our splice. Pull it tight, and then it, as you can see there, it just kind of lays in over itself. And of course the goats are gonna knock everything over. And I'll just tie it off. And I'm using this is a good strong way to splice wire, but I'm not concerned about strength, because again, this is an electric fence, and I would prefer that if something goes through it, that, you know, it's okay if there is a weak spot. That way it doesn't tear up a whole lot of stuff. And here we go. Now we're gonna bring our handle and clip it, make sure we got enough wire we can tie off to our handle. Oh, and you see my handle anchors right there. These are just, these are actually Speed Right. What do they call these? Pin lock insulators. And actually the pin locks broke off of these, so I put just a little bolt through there and attached it all, connected the wire to make a nice little gate handle anchor. Works pretty well. Doing that is a lot cheaper than buying these from the store, so I mean, take it for what it's worth there. It's just a piece of steel with a couple holes in it. Actually, what I think I did was I bought some, like, what do you call them, straps, you know, for just steel flat straps, and drilled holes in them so I could make my gate anchors. Anyway, probably should have gave myself a little bit more wire to connect to the gate handle here, but that's okay. That'll work. This gate is back up and going. Probably should have made that a little tighter, but that's okay. Doesn't hurt to have a little bounce in it. On to the next one. I need to put this back in the ground here. It's kind of gotten a little cattywampus. Get this back where it's supposed to be. I think that looks about right. I can't remember. Actually, we need to come up one. This is never a good sign. The clips got pushed up. I've said this before in other videos, and I'm going to say it again. I know a lot of people have issues with these lock jaws insulators. It seems like people either love them or they hate them. I like them. I wouldn't say that I love them after I've said that, but it seems like they are really good about coming off of the fence post instead of breaking. Now, sometimes they do break, but for the most part, if something hits this wire hard enough, it'll knock the insulator off of the post instead of breaking the insulator. So then all I have to do is come back and put it back on. In the past, I've used a lot of pin lock insulators, and it seems like if something hits those hard enough, they don't give, they break. And so then you end up having to just replace the whole insulator. So I would rather them pop off the post and, me have to put them back on than them just, break. So I mentioned earlier how you can, make your own of these gate handles. This right here, these are just a pin lock insulator, and I bought these before I, learned my lesson and started making my own. But I bought this. This is just a pin lock insulator. And it comes with this nifty setup right here. This plate that has these holes in them. 2 for gate handles, 1 for the pin lock insulator, and then 1 for you to attach your wire to. So I'm going to replace both of these. I'm just going to pull these out, stick a new pin lock in there, put it all back together and call it good. Alright, so that one's back together. There, now those are both back together. Now let's check out the gate handles. This one is quite a mess. The gate handle seems to be good. Ooh, except for right there. Untangle these. Well, it looks like we've got a couple spots where the wire has tangled on itself back here. Haha! There we go. And of course, this gate handle, the hook on it is bent. See if I can correct that. There we go, that's better. Well, maybe not so much. Maybe it's too much better. Oh, a bit of overcorrection. Let's bring it back just a little bit. There we go. All right, got us another gate back in order. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Here's the gate handle just laying there in the field. Seems to be okay. Here's another one up here, just laying there all on its lonesome as well. So there's 2 good gate handles, that's nice. Let's look at our gate wires. at the wars. These right here might actually be, yeah, this one's still solid anyway. Look at that. That one was easy. That's been the easiest one so far. This one may be the same way. How could I get so lucky? All that happened was the gate handles just got knocked off of these. Super. So with these gate handles, another thing that can happen that I don't like, that irritates me about them, is this right here. You see this gap in this? It's just wide enough that the wire can slip off of it. So I'm going to use my knockoff channel locks and try to pinch that down just enough. I don't think they're going to work though. I think it's too springy. Yeah. Oh well. We've got 2 more gates to work on. One here and there. I believe I'm going to have to replace a gate hanger, whatever you want to call it, right here. Oh, nope, it's just a broken pin lock. But the question is, where's the gate anchor? Oh no. So there should be one of these plates with a splice bolt and then a piece of wire with insole tube on it to wrap around and connect to the fence, but it looks like that is gone. I wonder if I put it away somewhere. Looks like I am short a part here, so I'm gonna have to look around here and try to find it, or go back to the house and come up with a replacement. I don't see it laying here in the tall grass anywhere. You would think it would jump out pretty quickly if it was laying here. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to go back to the house and either look for it, see if I put it away, which I don't remember doing, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I could have put it away somewhere, or I may just have to make a new plate. Anyway, be right back. Okay, so I ended up with this nice flat piece of steel. It's another one of those mending plates, or whatever you want to call them. It's just a flat piece of steel, a bunch of holes drilled in it. Let's see if I can get this kind of drilled my... Okay, there we go. So this basically serves the same purpose, but what I do is I will attach my wire down here at the bottom of this little bolt that I put in there. Oh no, forgot my piece of insole tube. Oh well, I'll come back and do that in a little while. So this basically serves the same purpose. You can hang your gate handle from it. One there, one there. Does the exact same job, but it is much, much cheaper. Of course, it may not look nearly as fancy, but like I said, does the same job. Okay. This one's kind of like the others over there. This is slipped off. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I know. I got you. I got you. All right. Other than this one being really loose, I think we're back in business. Of course, like I said, I am going to have to go get the piece of insole tube that I forgot so I can connect this all up like it's supposed to be. But actually, I'm going to take this down so the cows can enter this pasture right here. So we'll let them graze that, and I'm going to take you back up and show you my new Energizer. Well, new to me anyway. Okay, so this is my new Energizer. It is a Parmac. It's a Super Energizer 5, 50 mile range, low impedance. It'll knock out the grass, but this is my new Energizer. It's actually not brand new. Whenever I noticed that I had an issue, I just happened to come across on Marketplace, which generally doesn't happen for me, but I just happened to come across this Energizer. A guy here not too far down the road had it for sale for $50, which is insane. So I ended up with a new Energizer, and those are you know, those are really good Energizers from what I've read. So I'm happy with my purchase anyway. But it is running a little bit low. It's only running about 3.3, 3.4 kilovolts, which likely means that I've got a fault somewhere along the fence. So I'm guessing that I've probably got something along the perimeter or another insulator that I just missed. So I'm going to go back through, look for all that, but otherwise, the calves should be getting retrained to the electric fence now. Hopefully, they don't give me too much more trouble going forward. Of course, I'm sure as they get trained, I'll have to, you know, do some little repairs here and there because they tend to run through fences as they're learning how to treat electric fences. So, as I said, I'm probably going to have a little bit of repair work to do going forward, but hopefully it's nothing like what I did today. Either way, that's going to be it for this one. As always, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.